Hi guys, here's another video. I've got this LG washing machine I'm going to be having a look at today to show you what the problem is here. As you can probably hear the clunking. Just give you a close-up. You see the drums clunking. More than likely it's the spider that's broken, or it's the bearings. But it's moving around excessive, so I'm going to put it down to the actual spider itself. Okay, so there's just two screws on the back to take the lid off, as you can see I'm doing here, and then there's two screws to get this control panel off here, and then if you take the soap tray out, there's another two screws here. I'll just remove them lively. And then you can see the control panel coming off here. I'll just chuck it over the side here for the minute. And then there's two screws here on top of the front panel. You can see me undoing them there. And then you've got to get down to this bottom panel here. If you just open the flap for the drainage, there's two screws inside here, two white screws which you undo. And then it's just a matter of pulling the panel off, like so, the bottom panel. And then there's two screws for the bottom of the front cover. Two screws here. You see me just undoing them there lively. Okay, there's a little ring inside here which holds the seal around the door. Just get me the flathead knife in there. And there's a little ring with a spring on it. It's just a matter of working that loose. As you can see me here. You can see I've got it off. I'll just show you what that looks like. It's just a ring with a spring on the end, retaining spring. So then if you just lift the front panel up, it should come away like so. And it's just a matter of undoing the switch, the connector for the door switch, which you can see me undoing here, like so. I'll just put this panel out of the way for a minute. And now I'm just undoing the weights, the counterweights on the front. That's the left one. You can see me just undoing them. Just 4 bolts holding this side. And that's the weights there for the left hand side. And then I've just got to undo the one for the right hand side. I'll do this lively also. It was close, nearly took my foot off. But that's the other right hand weights, counterweights removed. I'll just put the screws back in the holes for it. Right, there's two screws on this control panel here. Just undoing them. And just slide that to the right and it should come out like so. I'll just put that to the side for a minute. I'll just pop the screws back in so I don't lose them. Okay, now I'm going to undo these shocks. There's some pegs. You see me get one out there. Just undoing the pegs for the shock absorbers where they connect to the drum. Bit tricky. Let me just take you around the back here. Back of the machine. Because I've got to remove this back panel, which you can see me doing there. Let's undo that lively as well. Just pull that off. And then you can see me just still undoing the shocks. There's 3 shock absorbers on the bottom, 2 on the one side, two on the right, one on the left. You can see me just undoing the pegs for it there. A little bit awkward and tricky. You could probably undo the bottom panel, might be easier. So I've got the shocks undone, I'm just tucking them down out of the way. I've got the one shock undone there. Once I've undone them, you see me just pull the peg out there. I'll just tuck them down. Let me just show you here the sump. I'm just undoing that. Just a retaining clip here. Just got to undo that, and you got this clip here also, which I'm undoing, so I can drop the sump down. I'll just pull that down. There you see, got the sump off. Just show you inside there. Okay, just going to undo these clips here for the steamer. This machine has a steam action, and you see I've just undone them there, and I'm just going to remove the soap tray. Just pull back, and out it comes, and underneath it's connected to the tub. So I'm just going to undo the hose for that. So you can see me just undoing that there. Just hooks around, and then just push that down. And that's the soap tray disconnected from the tub, sorry. Okay, just gonna undo these connections on the back here, but I'm gonna take a photograph of it first before I remove everything, and then you can see me just undoing the connectors. I'm gonna get the earth connector off also, just a little 8 or 10mm nut. So you can just get that off there. And you can see the shocks where I've tucked them down. You can see, just got to undo this wire loom also. You can plug it off the tub. Okay, so I've undone the springs, which were the only things holding it. So it's just a matter of lifting the tub out now. A little bit tricky and awkward. When you can see there, I've got the tub removed. I'll just show you inside there. That's the shock absorbers tucked away. So I'm just going to place all the parts back on here temporarily, and move this unit out of the way because I don't need it for the minute. It's starting to rain, as you can see, so I'm going to have to take this tub inside and finish it off. So here you can see me just undoing this connector for the door seal. Just need to put that to one side. And here you can see the play in the drum. Quite excessive. Okay, what I've got to do now is remove the motor. This I think it was a 17mm head nut on the top. Holds the motor onto the drum. Just take the bolt out like so, and lift the motor off. Bit of resistance because it's got big magnets inside of it. I've got that out the way now. So all I've got to do now is remove the bolts, the retaining bolts, as this is a split tub. So these bolts hold the tub together, and I'm just undoing them there lively all the way around. Okay, so it's just a matter of pulling the tub apart now. And now that I've removed the bolts. Yeah, you can see I've successfully split the tub. So this drum should just lift out like so, as you can see here. And you can see inside here, this drum's been banging around and wearing the sides of the tub. You can see there, see the black marks where the drum's been spinning out of balance. And here, you can see the spider, it's damaged. I'm just trying to remove it from the drum. There's 3 bolts holding it, and they're usually glued in, but I've got them out, as you can see here, without breaking them. Sometimes they will break because they use thread lock to hold them in, but I've managed to successfully get them out. And now I can show you what the problem is here. As you can see, the spider here, the legs are broken on it. We've got the one section off there. As you can see, it's completely perished and cracked, as they do. Let's get this camera down and give you a closer look. You can see there the spider legs. It's made of alloy, and it's just rotted away and broken and perished. Could have been due to overweight or just perish. And you can see the bottom of the tub drum, which will need cleaning. So I've got them outside just to show you here. This is the tub. You can see the burn marks inside here where the drum has been spinning out of balance, and it's been rubbing against the inside of the tub. Fortunately, it's not gone through. You can see here it's not penetrated, so it's obviously been banging around for a while. See the burn marks there where the drum has been rubbing against the inside of the tub. And you got the motor on the back there. And just show you on the outside, as you can see, it's not, it hasn't worn through. There's no marks, no holes, so it's not worn through. And I'll just show you the front cover of the tub. You can see marks inside there also, where the drum's been banging around, and you can see the seal there with the bearings inside. That's the bearings and the seal which we're holding, and you get a lot of this build up inside here. Okay, so what I'm going to have to do is give this a clean. To show you some more burn marks on the outside of the tub. Okay, you can see the drum here, a bit messy on the outside. I'm going to leave it clean. You're not going to see this anyway, so but I'm just going to give it a bit of a clean. Put a bit of fairy liquid and a bit of water, and I'm just going to give it a scrub because there's some rough deposits on the inside here where the spider was, just below the spider. And you can see I'm just giving it a bit of a scrub here, just trying to get rid of some of the deposits. Won't get rid of all of it. I'm just giving the outside of the drum a scrub, and then it's blasted away. And you can see the deposits left on the inside of the drum, on the back of the drum where the spider was sitting. That's some of the erosion there. I'm not going to use anything too abrasive because I don't want to scratch it so it starts rusting. So I'm just cleaning the inside of the tub here, little bits of dried on soap and what have you, dirt. So I'm just jet washing the inside of the tub. And this is the outside of the tub. Okay, now back to the broken spider. As you can see here, it's all dried out now, and it's just full of deposits which have got built up in these little crevices, in these little gaps, and they're powderized now. Just show you this section here, this also broken section here. It's just full of what I imagine is like soap and lint, and it's just filled these crevices, and probably just worked on it and eroded it. That's where the bolt goes, the retaining bolt goes. And to show you this big section here, you can see the soap and deposits built up in the little crevices, in the little gaps, and they're just like powder now, powderized. You see there, I can't get any part numbers off this actual part. That's it. Okay, so I managed to locate a spider online for £48.50, which I think is cheap, as some of the prices range from £60 to nearly £90. So I purchased this one from Amazon, and it's arrived. And let me show you here. It took 2 days. This is the part here. That's the spider there. Show you around it. And I'll just take it outside and show you, compare the two. Obviously that's the new one on the right hand side. That's what it looked like before it broke, the one on the left, and there's the part number on it stamped on the inside. You can't see any numbers on this unit because it's corroded. Okay, so what I've got to do is fit the spider to the drum, and you can see here, just got to fit it inside here. There's a little taper inside, so what I've got to do is tuck this. You can see a little taper inside there. I've got to tuck this spider into that little recess where the previous bolt made a countersunk. You can see just, and you heard that snap in place there. And you can just see the mounting hole there where the bolt goes through. And you can see where I've clipped it in place. Just get a little close up there. This is where it's bolted together. Okay, I've still got the bolts what I removed from previous, so I'm just going to reinsert them. And I haven't got the thread lock, so I'm just going to use a bit of super glue. Just put that on the thread, just a little bit, and just tighten it up. Probably won't undo anyway, but just speed this section up. And now I'm just going to put a bit of grease around the shaft for the seal. Let's put the drum out the way slightly. Okay, this is the inside of the tub, back of the tub. Okay, so what I'm going to do is put a bit of grease around this seal. Also, you can see me doing here. Let's get a little close up there. And then I'm just going to, these little burnt fragments here, just going to peel them off. This is where the drum was rubbing against the tub. On the inside, the burn marks there. Okay, now it's just a case of marrying the two together. So I'm going to fit the tub over the drum. You can see here. And then this magnet part of the motor goes on the back here. A bit of resistance here because of the magnets. So I'm going to fight with this a little bit just to get it straight so I can fit it over the splines. And that looks good. So it's just the retaining bolt that goes on the back with a 17mm head. I'll just tighten that up, this spanner. I'll just spin that, see it spinning freely. That's good. So now, just give it a spin. Yep, sounds okay. So I'm going to use this silicone sealant, as there's a black gasket in here. See close up there, which maybe I should have replaced the gasket and the bearings and the seal, but I'm just going to put a bit of clear sealant around it, just a little bit. It might hold anyway, but and then this heating element just fits into this section here, and I'll just give you a close-up. Just got to hook over as you put the top cover on, top cover of the tub. It's just slots in there, as you can see. I don't know if you can see that element just slots in there, and then you just put the two together, and you would that clip down, so it's clipped down together. So then the retaining bolts, just got to fit them all and tighten them all up. I'll just speed this section up because there's quite a few bolts. Let's put the last one in there, and then it's just a case of tightening them up opposite 1 o'clock and 6 o'clock, all the way around. And I'll just speed this section up also because there's quite a few bolts. So I'll just fast forward this. And that's all the bolts tight there. So I'll just show you here. You can hear it spinning nice and free. I'll just show you the back as well. If I spin the drum, see the motor on the back there? Everything seems to be spinning freely. So that's pretty much complete. Just a matter of fitting it back into the housing. And here's the housing here with all the parts tucked inside. And I'll have to speed this section up. Let me just show you this section here. This bellows seal, sorry. It was an absolute nightmare to get this spring over this clip. I should have left it on really. I managed to resolve with a piece of metal. Took a bit of skin off my knuckle, that's why I've got gloves on now. But I managed to resolve it. Managed to get the seal on. So I'll just fast forward this section. You can just see me putting the unit together, putting the tub inside, connecting up the shock absorbers and the hoses. I've just put the front panel on there. And just putting the wiring back together and the back panel. And voila, it's all complete now. So all I've got to do now, I've got it plumbed in and got the electrics connected. So just switch the machine on after I've put soap powder and a bit of towel in there just to test it. I'll just put it on a quick wash, switch it on, and so far so good. Let me just advance it here. And you can see it's ticking along nicely, no leaks and no noise. And I'll just show you around the machine. It's a nice quiet machine at that. You can see the injector there inside, squirting the water back into the drum. Just show you around the machine here. You see I've got it plumbed in temporarily, so I'm going to use it outside. Lights are flashing on there, but they're solid, it's the camera. Digits. Okay. We're pretty much done now. It's done a full cycle. There's no leaks and there's no noise, nice and quiet. So I'm fairly happy with that. So with that, thanks for watching once again, and please subscribe.